There are two great videos I want to go over today of NDP leader Jagmeet Singh and his wife acting in typical hypocritical champagne socialist fashion and flaunting their wealth on TikTok at the same time that Jagmeet's NDP is trying to demonize anyone who actually has wealth. Obviously, the rules do not apply to Jagmeet Singh because having actual coherent standards is very off brand for the NDP. But before I get into these two videos, I, as a politician, just quickly want to say something very unpolitician like and acknowledge the fact that none of us actually care that it's International Women's Day today. I wish we would just clear the calendar of all these obviously political days. I don't care about International Women's Day the exact same amount I do not care about International Men's Day. There's probably about 5 or 6 holidays in a year that I actually care about, not even including my birthday because I don't even care about that. And I wish, as politicians, people would just stop using these days to just put out partisan propaganda and pretend that I'm the real one who cares about women. Who cares? How about we just have a coherent political message that doesn't need to, warp itself around gender, race, and all these other things? Anyways, moving on though, but I want to get into this first video of Jagmeet Singh in his kitchen cooking food, very expensive looking food. Like, I know it's just spaghetti and sauce and all this other stuff, but the way he's making it makes it look like he's not buying exactly low quality brand items. But Jagmeet Singh, a man who goes after grocery store chains all the time, is making these TikTok videos cooking in his expensive looking kitchen with his copper pots while wearing a Rolex watch. Just look at this. This, I want to talk about this video without just saying cringe. But yeah, Jagmeet Singh's cringe. I don't know who this appeals to at all, and you think that he would remember to start taking his Rolex watch off every time he was making videos, because as much as it applies to very materialistic young people online who, ironically enough, vote for the Socialist Party, the NDP. I don't think that he realizes that to middle class people, especially those he's helping Justin Trudeau effectively bankrupt, this just makes him look like a complete putz as someone who goes after people like Galen Weston for being wealthy. Well, Galen Weston and the other people who own Loblaws actually create jobs. They actually employ people. They actually help people, like, they supply cheap groceries to people. Probably a place that sometimes Jagmeet Singh shops at the same time that he tries to attack Galen Weston and other grocery store CEOs when they show up to parliamentary committees. But, like, dude, I wish I could be Jagmeet Singh's political coach, not because I want him to succeed, but because it hurts me to see people like Jagmeet Singh not understand what the typical Canadian actually thinks. Nobody is really dazzled by his wealth. No one's thinking, well, now I'm going to vote for Jagmeet Singh now that he's proven to me that he owns a Rolex watch. A Rolex watch you would want to take away from anyone else because it shows their excessive wealth. But now here's a TikTok video from Jagmeet's wife. I don't know her name and really, don't care to look it up. But she's doing this whole makeup and, dress up routine on TikTok, just covered in gold and whatnot, putting on all this excessive amounts of jewelry. And I know it's cultural, but nobody can tell me that this is typical stuff people from their community just own without being excessively wealthy in Jagmeet Singh's own mind. Jagmeet Singh and his family are easily millionaires. And obviously now he only advocates for things like higher income taxes for the top 1% after he's already made all of his money. I know people think that Jagmeet's greedy and wants his pension. He doesn't really care about the pension. Jagmeet Singh just loves being looked at. Look at his TikTok. Look at him on television. He loves cameras facing him. He just loves the attention. And his pension wouldn't really add much on to what he already has. He's already a very wealthy former MPP and lawyer. And if he ever actually quit politics, he'd probably continue making more as a lawyer than he currently does now with his MP salary as well as the NDP leader salary. The thing with Jagmeet Singh is he is fully about looks. That's why he's holding on as the NDP leader. He is going to stick around as long as possible to stay on as many cameras as possible. And I don't understand how his team hasn't basically held him down, taken his phone away from him, and deleted TikTok and his other social media apps off of his phone. Because this stuff is shooting him in the foot. You cannot be the guy, again, grilling grocery store CEOs, going after the top 1%, at the same time that you're the man who is the most obnoxious displayer of wealth I've ever seen. Galen Weston is actually a fairly modest individual if you've ever seen him. You know, he's kind of like a Mark Zuckerberg type, polo shirts, jeans, not exactly trying to show you how much money he has. And Galen Weston and other people who are wealthy actually earn their wealth. Jagmeet Singh has gotten his wealth, or a large portion of it, from effectively either acting as some sort of ambulance chasing lawyer or some socialist grifting politician. But anyways, that should be it for me today. I just quickly want to plug, as I always do, that I, Wyatt Claypool, as I mentioned before, being a politician, I am running for the Conservative Party nomination in the riding of Calgary Signal Hill. If you live in this riding, buy a membership. Check out my website in the description below, wyattclaypool.com. And if you want, you can also contribute to the TNT Legal Fund. I am being sued by a Chinese billionaire for defamation. It makes no sense. I was the editor of an article that we put up on our website in which our guest writer simply mentioned the fact that this man was maxing out donations to Aaron O'Toole's leadership campaign. And when we mentioned other things about him, we just simply hyperlinked to a Globe and Mail article that did a big investigative report over him and his activities. But apparently it's defamatory for us to mention things about him that had already been reported a year and a half ago. But, you know, such is life. He's suing me into Alberta because there's no anti-slap legislation, and he can draw this out as long as he wants. But it has cost myself and the National Telegraph over $26,000 so far, and I do not have Jagmeet Singh money, so anything that you guys can contribute to the legal fund does help take the burden of cost off of myself and the National Telegraph, and allows us to actually invest in upgrading studios, paying for better, editing software, because I effectively do this show with no editing at all, because to buy editing software would be several $100s. But other than that, I'll see you guys all later, and thanks for watching and subscribing.